Well, hello and welcome to Stockton Junction. So, again, another quick review video, and I've done a bit of modification to these as well, so I'll show you that shortly. Yep, it's the Derby Lightweight 2-card DMU set in the RTC livery for the Gemini test units. And I was really chuffed when they announced these because, again, RTC is my thing. Just before we go any further, there's the box number, and it does require, which is quite annoying because Bachmann are renowned for using those connectors on their DMUs and stuff, so to share power. So I was quite annoyed when I saw that you need to have two separate chips in these, which I fitted anyway. So I've got two of the Bachmann chips. I'm not gone for sound at the moment, maybe in the future. So in there we have the 8-pin decoder, that one, and we have the 6-pin decoder, that one, which are, they say, the best match pair for them. They'll do. So we'll get these out and I'll show you what I've done to them. So we'll get these out of the way. Excuse me, I've got all the spare bits in one of the decoder crates there. That will stay in the box. So what I have done is some weathering and the roof, fitted some details, etc. So when these came, they had the plasticky looking roofs, so I didn't like it, so I've painted them with some nice roof colour. I've also done panel lining on all the doors. As you can see, it picks the doors out really well now, and some very light weathering along the bottoms and bogies, not too much, and some very light weathering on the fronts again. So that is the dummy car. But obviously, the other thing I have done is the interior. So the interior walls, I don't know if you can see it in there. If I put the light on for a minute, it might help. So the interior wall in there, you can see, is nice and grey, as it should be. It was originally the blue colour of the doors, the seats, sorry. So I've painted all of those. So they've done the cab ends inside in the grey, but they didn't do any of the partition walls. There's two walls over here as well, which I've done in the grey. I think it just makes it that much little bit better. Fitted the buffer detail, sorry about the focus. Yep, so I fitted both buffer detail in there as well on that one. And we'll get the power car out. So rather than having electronic coupling, they've just got these decouplings here, these sort of type, the metal ones, which are they're quite good. It'll do. So this is the power unit. The motor's in here. There's not a lot of room to fit it, and as you can see the wiring in there, which is a bit of a pain, but I could have put something in there to blank it off a little bit better. But to be honest, when it's running, it's going to be hard to see that, especially if it's running that way round. It won't be so easy to see in the windows. Again, I've painted the back of the motor housing was black, so I've painted that in a grey to look like another partition, and I've painted the other partitions. I've also fitted a Scale driver, which was, I think, one of the Class 31 drivers, but correct sort of era. So yeah, and you can see I've done a bit of weathering in the roof again on this one, and the front just picks out some of the details better. I think it looks a lot better. But yeah, I'm quite happy with them. I think the underframe detailing is good. You've got all like this. I think that might be sort of some sort of exhaust system there. You've got the rest of the exhaust that comes up and out the top here. So it could benefit from a little touch of black around the exhaust on both sides. And when I say both sides, the other side doesn't have an exhaust, but depending on which way it's running. So if the train's running obviously that direction, the exhaust smoke would go this way, and what would happen is the exhaust smoke would actually be on this side, even though there's no exhaust, because it would be blowing across there. So you get a bit of black on there, and obviously running the other way it'll come that side, so could benefit from that at a later date. But I've done exactly the same with the panel lining. But yeah, I mean, the detailing is great. They've got these windows, obviously you can see in those the wiring, which is a bit of a pain, but they've done a really cracking job of that with all the tiny decals, which are really nice and crisp. No sprung buffers on these, so for those of you that really like your sprung buffers, you might be disappointed. I'm not worried either way. And obviously you've got your pipe details, your hooks, which have all been fitted. All the rest is fitted. It's got a windscreen wiper there, but that's loose. Oh, that's not good. So yeah, the windscreen wiper is a little bit loose. Didn't realise that. I'm not sure what position. Oh, and I must have knocked that one off because it's missing. No, that's not too good. So yeah, I didn't even realise they had windscreen wipers on. So the wipers are very, very fragile, as I've lost one already. So yeah, that's the downside. The cab detailing though is absolutely fantastic. Not as good as some models I've seen, like the newer Scale cabs. Really good, really good. But it is good. It's picked out with various colours for the different things. It's good enough for as just a general look to see cab detail, which is really all you need. And yeah, I mean, it's got all of the really good information on there. There's not a lot more else I can say really. The next thing to do is for me to chuck these two onto the test track and program them, and I'll be doing them at the same time. Had a discussion with somebody previously about that. You can program multiple decoders at the same time depending on your system. Mine does do it, so you know the ECOS system will do it, and as one is only one is a motored thing and the other one is a dummy, for example, it will do that fine. Like my class 125, one is a dummy, one is a power car, so yes, I can do those at the same time again. Obviously you put them on facing the right directions, because if you put that one on and that one on that way, both on the track, they're both going to have headlights on at the same time, whereas if you turn them that way round, head and tail lights will be correct. And like the Hornby APT has 3 chips in it. You can program all 3 at the same time. It is certainly possible. So I will get these programmed up, and there's not a lot of track running at the minute because I'm working on the fiddle yard. I'm also working on the helix that's below here. I'm going to be ripping all the track off of there and redoing some of it because I've had some issues. So all we will do is we will take you over here. So because this is the nice scenic bit at the back, I'll have to move some of this, move the camera, and all I'll do is I'll just have it run it backwards and forwards around there a little bit so that you can have a look in a minute. Well, as you saw, I've got it running. Not without a few issues though. What can I say? So, first of all, the 6-pin chip that goes in the trailer car, for some reason, it didn't work. But I turned it round after I did read the instructions from Bachmann. Connected pin 1 to pin 1, because it tells you on there which one's pin 1. It tells you on the instructions which one's pin 1 in the trailer car. Didn't work. Turned it round, it worked. Second problem, power car. there's the chip. There's the Bachmann chip. I'll have to retest this in another loco because it wasn't working. But I will state that originally I put it in the way that Bachmann said, which was correct for the power car, because I put another one in exactly the same power car worked. But at that point I had swapped round afterwards the trailer pin, so this one might work. It might be because the trailer was back to front, although that's not my fault, that is Bachmann's. I don't know if they put it on the wrong in the instructions, or if maybe just my loco was wired up the wrong way round. It's very possible. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's running. I will sort out whether the chip runs in another loco, so I'll be testing that in a little few minutes and seeing if I can get it running. I've also got a couple of other newbies to try out. I've got a 8-pin and a 21-pin HM DCC Hornby sound decoders to try, see what they're like. So I'm going to have a play with those in a bit as well and see how I get on. Don't know if they're going to be much good or not. So I know they've been reasonable for other people. Obviously the sound files are a bit limited at the moment, but hopefully in the near future they might bring out sound files for other locomotives that I've also got that would make them a bit more better for myself. And I don't mind them because they're a bit more wallet friendly, even though they're not quite as maybe good as some of the like the lock sound versions, but they're twice the price nearly. So I'm quite happy to have less, quite, you know, something that does the job but maybe doesn't sound 100%, you know, only 80% quality of the sound for half the price. I'm happy with that. I mean, the old sound TX decoders I was really happy with anyway, so I've got a few of those in my locos. So yeah, or TTS should I say, TTS sound decoders. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. Think this unit looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it, and it's going to be a great addition into the depot when that arrives in the future. So hopefully maybe sometime this year. I've got a few other jobs to do before I get to the depot though. That's probably going to be one of the, well actually no, so I think my plans for the layout, town scene is going to be left out for quite some time. That's probably going to be the last job because it's up on top. I'm probably going to work on, I've got to finish the back area along the back scene of the main side of the layout, get the platforms in, get the heritage line in, which is running along the back. Then I can work on the line that goes up to the depot, and obviously where the heritage line station is, there's going to be a whole village, a little bit of a village scene up there. So I need to get all that in place before I start work on the depot, because that's all going to be in the at the back. So I need to get that done before I can work on depot area. So yeah, I've got quite a bit to do. And then I've got the permanent way sidings to go along the front. Again, those will come much later, and the town scene will probably be nearer the end because it's just easier to leave it for now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.